As Chairman of Cork County Council's Historic Monuments Advisory Committee, I am delighted to introduce this short video on the care and the cleaning of historic headstones. The production of this video is in line with the chief function of our committee to provide advice on best practice regarding the care of our historic monuments. The making of this video is a new initiative by the Historic Monuments Advisory Committee designed to complement our leaflet, the care and cleaning of historic headstones. Both the leaflet and the video can be viewed on the Council's website, and hard copies are available in the County Hall and in your local library.
This beautiful old headstone is a perfect example why it's so important to use appropriate methods to clean a headstone. You can see all the very fine carving which has slightly weathered away already, and the detail is very fine. So for example, if you would use an abrasive method like grinding or sanding with an aggressive disc on it, or extreme sandblasting, for example, what will happen is that the detail gets lost. You have the fine carvings in here, fine details in the lettering, and it will just sand away because you take off the surface while you're doing that, and you leave nasty sanding marks behind as well. What you should avoid as well, especially if you have a layered limestone like this one, that is very sensible to weather or frost damage already, because there is water can get into the layers and spoil the surface like a slate basically. So if you are using a strong power washer, the first thing that could happen is that you just blow off chips of the surface, and they're lost then. And the second thing that will happen is that you're actually just spreading the algae across. If you use steam cleaning, you actually kill the algae, they're dead and they won't grow back. But if you use a power washer, you use way too much water that can in turn freeze again if you do it in the winter, and also it will just spread out the algae, they just keep growing back the same way. If you would use the wrong chemicals, for example, an acidic-based cleaning agent on limestone, that will actually dissolve the surface, so you end up with a very rough surface, and over time it will just dissolve the surface as well. The same goes for, especially again on limestone, for soda or any bleach. In terms of abrasive hand tools like wire brushes, they also should be avoided because they leave rusty stains on the limestone, and it will look like something like this, which then later the dust from the wire is ferrous, and it will leave rusty stains, especially on white marble. What you should use instead is a hard bristle brush and water, plastic scraper or wooden tools. In this case now, this is an old marble headstone which is has a very sensitive nature. Basically our job is to maintain this old headstone, and we start with a gentle steam clean at first, just to remove any organic matter like lichen and algae and moss. We start that steam cleaning with a system, it's called Thermatec. It's a very gentle system, it creates a lot of heat but very little pressure. Compared to a power washer, it doesn't need as much water, which could in turn cause damage again. So all we have is gentle steam, no cleaning agent. We just remove the organic matter for now. If that then later is maintained on a regular basis, just with water and a bristle brush, you keep it nice for long without causing any harm. The lichen starts growing on limestone in particular and marble, which used to be limestone. It's a living organism and it feeds off the calcite in the limestone. So in return they produce acid, which causes a lot of bleached staining. So those bleach stains are below the surface. I can't wash them off. If I want to remove them, I would have to use a very aggressive method or an abrasive method, but that would remove the stains, but it also would remove the original finish and any tool marks you might find. So you're way below the surface then. So to avoid that, we leave the stains and accept the stains as they are. They're as clean as they can be cleaned without causing any damage to the monument. In general, not every stone as a material behaves the same way when it comes into contact with the cleaning agent. Sandstone, for example, behaves differently than a sensitive marble or limestone would do. So the DIY headstone or monument maintenance or cleaning, that should really be only reduced to warm water and a pH neutral soap and a bristle brush. If there is any more cleaning to be done, please consult with a professional and avoid using any bleach, soda or acid-based products. They cause more harm than they do good. So another step that often follows the cleaning of a headstone is the repainting of the lettering. So in a lot of cases the letters get flood painted, so that means they're not precisely painted in the carving. All the edges are over painted basically, and on the day after the excess is sanded off. So that should be avoided as well, especially on an old headstone like this. If you are seeking professional advice, I recommend you ask the company you're dealing with how they go about cleaning your family memorial or the headstone. If they tell you they are going to sandblast it, or they use a power washer, cleaning agents, aggressive cleaning agents, or abrasive tools like sandblasting or grinding, I recommend you look a little bit further and find somebody that is trained and qualified in conservation work, especially if you're dealing with an old monument like this one.